it might seem that, oh, 3D printing is just for toys and gadgets. But this showed the other side of 3D printing to the general public. So which is very nice added bonus for helping so many people around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, let me just put out there, now I am the host. David, I will bring you on here. Someone gave me the ability here again, so I will promote you to a panelist, and you should come on in a moment here. So David, do tell us what you're doing at Modesto Junior College. Hopefully.
I think David is muted still.
There we go.
There we go. Hi, David.
Hi. Sorry, it's early morning here. What happened was we got hit with COVID and it shut us down at the college. And I actually teach. This is my teaching classroom. I'm an anatomy professor. And so we brought the whole lab home, and I grabbed the 3D printer and brought it home as well, because we were already starting to work on 3D printing stuff for the hospitals locally. Vent splitters was one of the things we started with. And we started with the masks, and Joseph already covered it. When you do those masks, getting them to fit properly is just not something that's safe. So we stopped doing that early on. We saw the DTM model of the face shield, the original one with the high top, and it took a long time to print. Locally, UCSF, University of California, San Francisco Medical School, they have their model. And we took basically ideas off of both of them, came up with our own. I don't have one here. My office is actually next door, and that's where the print farm is. And I didn't run over there, but this is one of the ones that blew up on the printer, which we all have these. By the way, I have a box of these. I'm going to make a COVID-19 model out of the blow-ups from this.
Yeah, I mean, all of the printers around the globe had a lot of stress from printing the same part over and over and over again.
Well, the thing of it is too, is that when we're running 24 hours a day, and there's 4 of us that are actually printing, because we took all the printers home, because we can't be at the college. So we're printing 24 hours a day. So for me, I say this is early morning. I've been up basically every 2 hours around the clock for days now. But I will show you one thing we did do, which the part's blown up, but you see the hook we have here. Instead of the buttonhole elastic, we went to the hook because everybody locally is doing Coban. And this mounts on a little bit better with a Coban. And that was one of the biggest things we did. Same pin design and all that. We also, you can see it's falling apart, but you can see we filled in a piece here to help prevent some of the overtopping that a lot of folks wanted without going to the full top bill. So it's kind of a nice medium.
We did a cap which actually doesn't prevent bending of the shield, which is very important. I saw a lot of remixes, but I'm not sure they were field tested, because basically everybody loves the shield around here, because they are much more comfortable than even the stuff they are getting from the proper suppliers. And this bendability that it can, it just doesn't sit on one point at center of your forehead, makes it such an easy way to wear for a long periods of time.
This is terrible. I wish you had a real one. We actually did one where it was solidly filled. It felt like you had a brick on your head.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the beauty of 3D printing, because I mean, every country might have a different requirements or different things. I mean, we were not sure if the button elastic will be available everywhere, but
we can get it.
We tested that you could use it with rubber bands and other stuff, or even surgical tubes. And
what happens with local in the hospitals is these nurses are using this stuff for 14 to 16 hour shifts. And it's amazing how like a rubber band ties up in your hair over a 14 hour shift. And that's how it all got started for us, is that I've got students that are now nurses and physician's assistants and even doctors that are out there working. And when COVID first hit, they were calling me up saying, what do? We don't have supplies. And that's
Yeah.
what started this whole thing for us. So anyway, we've done over 1,000 at this point. We have orders for over 1,000, and there's just no end in sight. So,
Yeah.
Joseph, thank you. We actually have got a couple of orders for printers, but we're buried in the pipeline.
Yeah, I mean, we are actually one of the few companies which are still growing in this time. So since the start of the pandemic, we hired like 50 people already. It is interesting. If people, I might actually post. So I will post it in the chat here right now, so people can see what we have as precautions now. And there's actually how we hire people safely, because you don't want to invite random people into the company on the premises if they are infected. So there, that is nice. But make sure to check out the disinfection info, because I mean it makes them much more reusable. And if the proper visor material is used, they can last for a long time.
We use the 7 mil report covers.
Yeah, I don't speak mil. I speak millimeters. That is always a struggle. But yeah, thanks for the help.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Hey, thank you, David, for joining us. I'm going to put you back as an attendee, and I really appreciate coming on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be interesting if I try to screen share again.
Yeah, go on.
I may show you what can be done in little over a month. I don't think we have like the most recent data, but we actually were a little bit more successful in the distribution than the government itself. Oh, let me show the map. Okay, or here is the map. This is the Czech Republic, and you can see all the dots are like the GPs, dentists, and hospitals. And you can see that we were able, thanks to some other friendly companies and volunteers, we were able to cover a whole Czech Republic. I mean, in every city you can see people who got these. So, I mean, it is not only about making stuff, but we as a maker community and the startup companies are very, very, I would say, flexible, and we can adapt very quickly.
Joseph, what was the state, of Czechoslovakia when you got started? Like what how bad was it in terms of the supplies and what was broken? And
I mean, I would say that it is pretty much the same all over the world. Yeah. I mean, Asia, I would say, was more prepared, but they had a test run a decade ago. But a lot of people here are, I mean, it's too far. It's not going to get here. So, I mean, who can blame them? But the thing is that even if you have supplies, there is just so many pieces needed that the stockpile would need to be so big. So I think that is this shows the resourcefulness of the different countries and preparedness. I don't think that, I mean, I don't think it is possible to have like stockpiles for how big the stockpiles should be, like to last 2 or 3 months if you have full-blown pandemic. That is ridiculous, and the things don't last forever. So you would eventually have to like throw out some of them and buy new ones. So I'm thinking that it is much better instead of stockpiling to have like companies which have verified designs working and smaller stockpile, and when something like this happens, just activate it. And if you have designs, I mean, next time there would be a pandemic, thanks to in the 3D printing community, we have many designs which are very helpful, and they will not go away. So next time we could do the same. Hopefully there will never be a next time, but we are still not through our first time yet.
Yeah. All right. Matthew Wettergreen asked in the Q&A area a question. He said, it seems that one of the reasons your design has been shared and produced so much is due to the simple design. Do you have any advice for designers looking to design their own solutions for COVID-related needs?
I mean, actually, I mean, if you look at others, some might seem at the first sight, they might seem simpler or using less material. That is, we actually touched on that topic before, but they are very comfortable because if you remove some of the materials, it will just start cutting into your hair. But honestly, we use the same design ideology as we do with 3D printers. I mean, there's nothing which doesn't have a function. There's nothing just for the design, if you know what I mean. And always test it before you start production and brainstorm. But I guess we are used to that in the development of our machines, that finding the least viable option, which usually is the best, because I would say keep it simple.
Yeah. Christopher Lamb just asked, it seems like 1 millimeter nozzles make the print faster. Should I switch?
It depends. You can, and just verify that the design is strong enough, because we provided the G codes for the standard ones. But yeah, there's also, we also provided the stackable version. But by all means, if it works and is as sturdy as a normal shield, why not?
Okay. Jeff Barr, who was on just a minute ago, but then I moved him back to, he did have something to say. He said, I'm new to the world of 3D printing and got my Prusa Mini just a few months ago. After getting it all dialed in, I printed the test objects and moved on to designing some things for my own use. And I created a video to share with my grandchildren in Australia. Now we're planning to have them send designs for me to print in Seattle. I want them to know that 3D printing lets them go from problem to good idea to solution, all under their personal control.
Yeah. I mean, if we talk about 3D printing in general, people just, a lot of people don't realize the power of that. I mean, you can have stuff like immediately, if you don't have to wait for shipping and stuff, and you can make it exactly as you want. Right. And once you have that switched in your hand, it just changes the view on everyday things.
Right. So talk a little bit on the designs, back on the design side though. You mentioned GrabCAD. Was that the tool you were using to design?
No. That is the original design we saw and inspired our shield.
Oh, okay.
It was posted on GrabCAD, but right. I think we used Fusion 360 for designing this, or Inventor. I'm not sure right now.
One of those, yeah.
I didn't do the drawings. I was more of a manager, and I was dealing with the government and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was very nice that they cooperated, because also, I mean, if you can help out, they will help you out too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but now in the long term, it is that there will be, I guess, over the next few years, if 3D printing should move into a stage that instead of buying stuff, you will just download it and print it, even from the vendor, like, that they will sell you the design.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of thinking about the certification, because I'm sorry.
Certifying the people who are doing the work, printing?
Yeah, I mean, the certification system is not ready for that. We got the shields independently CE certified.
Oh, certifying the shield, not the process. Right.
Yeah, but that is the same for other things too.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now I can show you the certificates if you want. And also, let me try this. Yeah. So on the right, you can see the RC shield, RC3 shield. That is the one currently used. But once we were into it, we designed a little next version, which I would consider final, but it will be coming out soon, which passes even the higher standards. You cannot go higher. So that we called it Pro. That will be out in just a few days. And the problem is that even though if we have the design, we have the description how to make it and the materials listed and everything, you still cannot like manufacture it and sell it under normal circumstances. Now, as there are emergency states, there are exemptions for some of the stuff. But we are now trying to find a way or do some suggestions, because we would love to share the test data we have from this certification process for others to use to, for example, self-certify. But the system is not ready for that. So we are looking into ways how to do it, and we will be publishing it soon, because it's such a shame that as some of the states are going out of the emergency state, hospitals cannot accept stuff which doesn't have the stamp, and basically every single user who is making these would need to get the certification. And in our case, that is like $15,000 a pop. So
yeah,
that is definitely not viable for the
definitely
crowdsourced making.
So in the few minutes we have remaining, what's the future look like? What do you think you'll be doing 6 months from now? What do you think the other, what are we learning about how to solve problems, both through cooperative efforts, through this distributed manufacturing, through the use of 3D printers for prototyping and realizing ideas? As you kind of mentioned a little bit, I mean, this is, in my view, proving to some people the value of these tools and the skills needed to use them. But what are your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, last 2 months or 2.5 months was just so crazy that just last few days, there were just the tiny moments for actually do some retrospect.
Thinking.
Yeah, to process all the information you have. And I don't think I finished that process to say, and to move this forward, we need to do this, because there is still like with the certification, we are just now in the process how to make it happen. And for pushing 3D printing forward, people, I mean, the authorities are scared of 3D printing of this, because I mean, if you sell a model of child's toy and somebody prints it improperly, who is to blame?
Yeah.
So
that's how liability issues come up, but it's why a lot of industry has been standing on the sidelines during this pandemic, and one of the great things is people have jumped in and just done it.
I mean, it was a tough run, but I think it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, that's great. Are there other kinds of PPE that we should be thinking about beyond the face shields?
So what I saw mostly are the ear savers. That is, right. I mean, very safe to make, but I think we could definitely do protective goggles. I think I saw some designs, but I didn't have much time now, as we were super busy. It is a lot of work to do the certification, so we didn't have time yet to do it, and we still have like 50,000 orders for our requests for the face shields for our health industry. So
well, listen, I want to thank you and wrap up here, but thanks for coming on here and sharing what you're doing. It's an incredible piece of work you've done, it really, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, doing something that changes the world. You really did. And, you know, I think you did, as Adrian said, even if you saved just one life, it was worth it. But yeah, I think it had more impact than that.
I mean, the whole credit should go to the whole 3D printing community, because
Yeah.
I mean, everybody just got helping or started helping in just a few short days, and that is amazing. And I want to thank everyone for their hard work and helping others.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Thank you. Let me just recommend the attendees to go back to the schedule. There's, I think, a dozen sessions starting on the top of the hour here. There's a follow-up session with Joseph, I believe, and Prague Maker Faire that's later today, if you look for that. And very many interesting sessions part of the program today. I'm so grateful to all the people that joined us in this session, but all of those who are producing sessions for Virtually Maker Faire today. So thanks a lot, and take care, everyone.